Hello, everybody. My name is Smug,
And I'm Frost.
and we're back to normal with our normal guest today. Welcome, welcome. Well, I guess not guest, normal host.
Yeah. I mean, I can be a guest. That's okay.
I hope not,
Yeah.
but
But so I guess we get to start with we are for time of recording. We are about 7 months away from the launch of 11th edition. If the 3 year cycle is to continue, which we have no reason to believe it's not going to,
yeah,
we are 7 months away from 11th edition. So I wanted to get your thoughts on what did you think of 10th so far. We don't have to do a deep dive or anything, but I'm just curious what you think. This isn't in the script. I'm just going to ask right now, though.
10th has been fun. It feels.
It got stale towards the end for me personally.
I mean, I got so much more towards the end, so I'm not gonna. I got Nids off rip, and then the next year I did Votan, and then Sisters, and then I've just kind of Votan and Sisters and Nids between the three. It's been fine. Nids has been the most boring. Sisters I just picked up, and then Votan I've loved through and through.
I've thought that they did a lot of good things. This isn't like a wrap up of the edition. I thought there was a lot of good rules. I think they cleaned up a lot of confusing interactions of ninth and eighth and seventh,
Mm-hmm.
and I like what they did there. But I think the missions actually kind of suffered at the end. But I would have to say that I think this was a good addition,
I'd say
but
overall.
it was a good addition. I think ninth was better, and I think one of the things that I was thinking, one of the aspects of 10th I thought was really interesting was the difference in how they changed the game throughout the lifespan.
Oh yeah.
So if you look at ninth, a lot of it had to do with the detachments and the missions, and the basically like how mission play worked. And because you had the like the books and whatnot that would release, and then you could use the books like the Psychic Awakening books in eighth edition, or was that no? That was ninth. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But for 10th edition, they didn't do that. They didn't add new detachments. They didn't add new little supplements. They just had their codexes and they went on from there. They changed basically the core rules, whereas I think they mainly focused on, not even think, they mainly focused on the tournament packs were really different in ninth.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually liked the adjustment of the core rules a lot. I think there's a lot of things that I really liked from it, like pivoting and the mortal wounds, for example. Those were really good changes for devs, even though I don't think they should be in the game, but they are.
Yeah.
Went on a giant rant there. I was waiting to say that. I've been waiting to say that. Oh man.
Yeah. Anyways, before Frost goes talking about mortals,
Oh God.
the point of today's episode is more or less just a thought back on some of the things that you wish you would forget.
10th edition has had a lot of, we'll say, interesting combos throughout the edition, and
Oh
some
yeah.
of them were quite powerful. And it's really funny to think about it because there are some of the combos that we made a list of combos. We have an honorable mentions, and we in like an actual list. But your 10 Terminators with sustain 2 plus 1 to wound doesn't even make the honorable mentions
No.
category.
No. No. Sustain two lethals, whatever.
Ignoring all modifiers.
Ignores all mods, half damage? Nah.
That doesn't even crack our honorable mentions in
No.
terms of favorite combos. So the story for today is I called this document the good old broken days.
Yeah.
Um, and we went through and we picked our the nine most egregious combos that they had to change the rules either around the game itself in some cases, which that we'll find out with, or they had to change the rules of the faction dramatically, either with an FAQ, an emergency patch, or the 3 month update.
Yeah.
So there are some stipulations for being included on this list, and we talked about what these stipulations should be, and we came to the decision that it would be that the army rules or the rules of the like how this build functioned had to be changed because it was too good for the game or, whatever. So that's why when we go in the honorable mentions, you're not going to see Death Guard, you're not going to see Knights, and you're not going to see what's another good one? I guess we could have put, now that I just think about it, we could have put well, not GSC, the oh man, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh god, it was the Yanari Eldar build. That could have been an honorable mention. That could have been an honorable mention.
That one could have been
we'll
on
make
the
it an
list.
honorable mention. That one's on the list. Maybe it's on the list now. Maybe it's a top 10 instead of a top 9.
That is definitely on the list.
That's definitely on the list. I'm so glad we talked about it. But anyways, so the thing with Death Guard and Knights is they never actually changed the rules for those factions. When the Codex came out, yes, it changed for Knights, but that 6 to 8 months when they were dominating, nothing changed other than points. So they're not included. There was a lot of builds, like the Canoptic Court Necron build is another good example with the Wraiths and the Technomancer.
Yep.
Those rules never changed, just the points did, so those were not included.
Yep. Like, all right. It breaks my heart to not be able to dunk on Death Guard. However, they have earned their place off this list because they haven't been touched yet.
Not that they shouldn't have been, but whatever.
They still need to cost more.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I'm actually really glad that we have now a top 10. Top 9 felt a little awkward. Oh, yeah. Gosh, now we can be even top 10 most broken mechanics of 10th edition. There we go.
And while you're here, go ahead and hit that like button. Smack that subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to Honey or whatever.
What was that? Is that the scam thing?
That was like this. Do you remember the like Honey was the browser extension? It's like, oh, it searches the internet for your discount codes.
Sure, pal.
That was the thing for for a long time. I remember, to date myself, Markiplier back in like 2013 or whatever refused to do a sponsorship deal with them because he didn't trust it.
Based.
And he couldn't figure out why. And it turns out it was a scam.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
He was a true one. Anyways, moving on to the honorable mentions. So I don't know if you want to start. If you want me to start with
no.
With the honorable mentions.
The next one's perfect for me.
Okay, so honorable mention. Oh yeah, it is. I was just reading it.
Yeah.
So honorable mentions for the Legion of Excess. This was the Grotmus detachment that was basically made. I mean, obviously during Grotmus, back when they made the detachments, like I did think there was 31 detachments.
They did one for every single army.
Yes, and
then
Legion of Excess
for demons.
Oh yeah, because they made that like their fake codex or whatever.
Yeah.
So Legion of Excess they ended up nerfing this build pretty hard and pretty quickly.
Fast.
It was really fast. So what it was is they had like the whole army could fall back and charge, which is a great rule. But they had this special rule called Seductive Gambit, where if you gave up fight first, you then got to reroll all your hits and all your wounds, which is an amazing ability.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just to start, right? Amazing ability. The issue with that build is that one, they had a unit called Fiends, and Fiends had a ton. They were twin linked, or no, they weren't twin linked because you rerolled all your wounds, but they all had invulns, by the way. But they basically just did hella damage, and you had a 1 CP strat that they eventually made for 2. Made it a 2 CP strat, whereas you could put +1 to wound on 2 units, or 1 if it was a monster. You had a strat to go through walls if you were a like mounted
demon too.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I mean, it was dominating for like 3 months, and they basically just nerfed it out of the game because they said, nope, it was way too much. I think they changed it to just reroll hit rolls of 1, and they just no wound rerolls, and then they added the reroll wound rolls of 1 back, but it was kind of too late. But yeah, Legion of Excess, and this coupled with the old Keeper of Secrets, because the old Keeper of Secrets used to be permanently -1 to hit. It wasn't stealth. It was just -1 to hit. And it had a 5+ feel no pain on an 18 wound model, so it functionally had 27 wounds. It was obnoxious. It was really obnoxious, and it could then go through walls in this detachment. And honestly, being able to reroll all your hits and all your wounds was amazing on it, because you're probably not going to kill it in 1 activation. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so that's why it was so good.
Yep.
Anyways, next one for you.
Fear the Fur. Thundercav, before their codex, they were like base damage 3 with power fists. You could add 2 characters to like a 6-man wolf unit. It was like T6, 3 up, 4 up, 4 wounds a pop. So nothing went into them properly. You take them in Stormlance, you take them in Gladius, you take them in anything other than the Space Wolves detachment, and they're immediately a step up. Like, there was one time my Sagi survived a single Thunderwolf Cav character swinging into it. It was just the one guy, too. Not even the whole unit. The one guy nearly one-tapped a Sagi. Wounding on 5s, hitting on whatever. It wasn't the old target either. 2s? Awesome. Yeah, hitting on 2s, wounding on 5s. Devs or whatever. Yeah. Just the one guy did that much damage.
They were good.
It was just a stat check that you would not be able to outrun. It would run at you. You'd have to deal with it. And if you didn't, you lose. Just on the spot.
I think the most egregious part of that build was the Stormlance 9-inch auto advance.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could charge after that. So they already moved 12. So you would go 21 inches and then charge.
Excuse you. Add another 2 inches to that base movement. They're 14 base, pal.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. 23 inches and then charge.
Yeah.
And yeah, going to damage 3 on the power fists on the charge. I mean, it's just too much. It was way too much.
So good.
It was so good, and they were cheap. They were really cheap.
Like 125 for 3.
Oh, it was cheaper than that. I think it was like 100 for 3 at the beginning of the edition.
Oh,
legitimately.
Gosh. Yeah.
It was really bad.
Maybe it's just because I'm friends with a really good wolf player, but any wolf player out there losing, it's a choice.
It was good. Yeah, that build pre-codex, pre-point nerf was really bad.
It was
I put Bridgehead Strike pre-nerf to the detachment rule, which they changed the +1 to hit to +1 to, or +1 to wound to +1 to hit.
Yeah.
Because that actually kind of ruled for a while.
Yeah.
And it was just really good. The Scions were just wounding everything, because the Scion profile with having that many plasmas and meltas, especially if you ran the command squad, you'd be getting, and that you got like sustained for running the command squad anyways, and you could hit them, like have them hit on 2s.
Yep.
You'd reroll you'd reroll hits on objectives.
You'd pretty much wound everything in the game on 4s, if not better.
Yeah, and it was just really good, and they were really cheap as well, and it was just super efficient.
And also the 6-inch rapid ingress on the opponent's turn, because they hadn't done that properly figured out yet.
I forgot about that one.
Oh, how could you? It's your favorite.
Oh, unironically, I did love. I mean, I've been talking about this for like since 8th edition. Wanted to make a Scion army. I almost did it. But I didn't. I almost did during this time. Next one was pretty easy. Bully Boys, Mega Knobs, 4+ feel no pain, twice a game.
So you just...
That was really annoying, but...
You just do it you do it round 3 and round 4 and win the game, because you're untouchable.
Yeah, I mean, but that was... Funny enough, that wasn't even that bad. I mean, that was pretty much out of the game very quickly.
Believe it or not, we might be seeing orcs again soon.
Yeah, I know. God. But and then last but not least, for the honorable mentions, we got the Bolter Discipline Index for Space Marines. Now, I don't know if you remember how this worked. Yeah. But basically, the aggressor rule still is like +1 AP if you're shooting the closest target. They were the biggest abusers of this, by the way.
Yes.
Because you would run them with Calgar.
Yep.
And then a Harm Assist, or the Apothecary Biologus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what Bolter Discipline did was it gave critical hits and and sustained hits on a 5+ if you were in Devastator Doctrine.
Yep.
So if you threw a Harm Assist with the Biologus, or Apothecary Biologus into a squad of aggressors, basically what you would get is, and you also then use the Storm of Fire stratagem on them in addition. So it was +1 AP and ignoring cover.
Yep.
you would just get a ton of bolter shots and grenade launcher shots, all wounding on 5s. If you picked your oath target, it was re-rolling everything.
Yep.
You were getting lethal sustained, and then it was twin linked on your bolters. I
Yep.
mean, and then if it was old oath of moments, it was just re-roll all your wounds as well.
Yep.
And it was just, I mean, you would have like this squad, I believe it was, because I remember playing against this like on release, and I think a squad of 6 like would kill a land raider by like almost over double.
Yeah, because it'd be AP3.
No, it would be AP. It would be AP2, but it was ignoring cover. But Calgar would be AP3 on his stuff, and he's like, and when you're giving him sustained lethals on 5s, and his shot like his stuff is like damage too.
Better.
It suddenly does a lot more damage, and yeah, it was bad. I mean, it was a rough, and then they could charge after that, and they all had power fists, so that were twin linked.
Yep.
I'm honestly shocked thinking about it that like how little aggressors are played now.
It's because they're so slow. Transports for Marines are awful.
It is because they're slow, unless you're the Repulsor, Executioner, and Black Templars. But you know,
hey, that's not Space Marines. That's Black Templars.
Oh, you're so right.
Ignore the fact that they are just going to run Gladius anyway.
Oh gosh, we're not getting into that. I think we already talked about this.
We already complained about Gladius.
Alrighty, so we're now moving into those are the honorable mentions. Now we're moving into the top 10 most broken combos and mechanics of 10th edition, according to us, of course. So
the only reliable source.
Start at number 10. We had the Orcs more DACA detachment.
Just everything about it.
Everything about it was bad. I mean, the sustain 2 and all their shooting, and a lot of people didn't think it would be that egregious, but then when you played it, it was pretty egregious. So sustain 2 functionally means you're getting +2 to hit, right? Because for every 6 you roll once, you roll a 1. But then if your 6s count as 3 hits, you're functionally getting +2 to hit. So if you hit on 6s like Luda's did, you would hit on 4s. Now, that's not that bad for 100 points. If you have 24 shots hitting on 6s, you're averaging like 4 shots at 812, right?
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden you're getting somewhere closer to 12 shots, and if you're shooting at something on an objective, you're re-rolling all your hits as well.
Yep.
You're getting actually something closer to, I believe it was like, I think it would be something like 21 hits on average.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And basically that would be 812 from a unit that costs 100 points, and then you'd have your 6 shots at 9-2 d6, and those hit on 5s for the spanners. So it's like for 100 points, you're like 812 is a good profile. You're winning Marines on 2s.
It's so good.
It was so good, and it's like 300 points. You're telling me you're getting 72 shots, like, and they just trade it so well.
Yeah,
I mean,
vehicles, it doesn't matter. Like, they can get enough shots through that you'll get a good amount of wounding through.
They also had a strat for ignore cover.
Yeah, like, are you going to pick up a Land Raider without trying? No, but you just throw out another unit, and the combined costs of both being cheaper than the land fort, it's worth it.
So it just was not. I mean, and like, what are you gonna do? Like, they just would basically outshoot any army in the game. And the funny thing is, like, that actually wasn't even that wasn't actually the thing that broke the detachment. The rule that broke the detachment was the 1 CP stratagem to put a unit into the WA.
Yep.
And it's specifically when you would put it on Zagrod, who is the guy who would lead all of the Gretchen.
Yeah, and those fucking
20. It was awesome.
Gretchen now with a 5-up invul and advance and charge.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, when you would put Zagrod in the WA for 1 CP, because you could do this turn 1, because you would never want to do it normally because you didn't want to waste your WA, right? Because you always had this combo, but you didn't want to waste the WA on turn 1 because, like, that's kind of stupid. But his unit had a 9-inch scout. So if you went first, right, when you put them in the WA, you just added 6 to their movement characteristic, but it says nothing about advancing. So you would basically put, like, move them 9 for the scout if you went first. You would then move 12 for 21-inch move, and then you could advance and charge. Then you had +1 to hit and wound, -1 to wound, and everything had a 5-up field or 5-up invuln. And you could literally just go and just tag almost your opponent's entire army. Turn 1.
You are sitting nice and pretty, literally just sending a line of 20, whatever they are, 20 grots,
Oh yeah,
just blocking everything. Oh, you have fly? Sure. Then the shooters will kill you.
it was
Like,
awesome.
ugh.
I think there was a there that got nerfed really quickly because there
Because
was a
people
super.
started saying, like, tournaments started banning it, which was like a soft, like. It seems like the second that tournaments start banning it, GW immediately is like, okay, okay, guys.
They're like, we'll fix it.
Yeah.
There was the I forgot what event it was, but it might have been the Tacoma Open. I could be so wrong on that, but no, I don't think it was the Tacoma Open.
It wasn't a
But there
GW
was
official. It wasn't one of the four.
it was a big event that had
It
like
was
300
200
400.
something people.
It was a super major,
Yeah.
and all top three places went to Orcs Mordaka,
It
and like
was.
immediately they got fixed.
What was it? It was the Texas something. The dude
Well, it might
got
have been the
banned from
Lone
it
Star.
last. Lone Star. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was pretty much okay. We can't have this.
Yeah. I remember the whatchamacalls it? The guy who got banned for cheating there last year. Not being able to go. I mean, but my buddy's joking about it.
It always seems to be the Lone Star Open that always has a cheating scandal. Like 2 years in a row, there's been a cheating scandal.
You know about them Texans.
Was it three? Was that also the? I don't think that was the same GT where it was the guy with the loaded dice that tried to flush him down the toilet.
Oh no, I think it might have been.
It was it that was that the Lone
Hold
Star
on.
GT?
What?
That is one of my. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, long story short, there was a player at an event where someone accused him of cheating with like loaded dice, and so the way you do it is you like
Oh,
to
it
tell
was
the
Element Games Grand Slam in 2023.
Okay. All right. So I thought I don't where is that? Was it in Texas? That would be funny if it is.
I don't know.
But regardless, how you do it is that you basically put like you get like salt water, like you get like a solute like a water with a solution of salt. And essentially you drop a die in there, and if the die is weighted, it'll always go to the bottom, right? Like in whatever side you want it faced up will eventually always go face up. So they were going to test this guy's dice. So he went to try to throw like and flush them down the toilet. And you have this screenshot. I'm hoping like our editor can find the screenshot of it of
If
the
you
dice.
just look up Warhammer
Oh my gosh.
toilet dice, they pop up.
Yes, and the dies are in the like toilet bowl, like at the bottom of it. With like, it's so funny.
So
Anyways.
it's European because it's a euro of some sort.
Oh, it's incredible. But that is one of the funniest. I think that's one of the funniest cheating scandals I've
it's
ever
one
heard
of the
of.
best. Oh, it's one of the best.
But anyways, moving on down the list, number 9. What do we got? Smug.
We have ourselves anything with a 3-inch deep strike.
Oh boy.
You can take your pick. Any of them are awful. GSC did it horribly. Loved it. What was it? The strength 12 -3 D6 +1 hazardous demo charges.
It was only -2.
Oh,
You just ignored cover.
my bad. They were horrible. Again, Tempestus Aquilons. That's 6-inch rapid, which I'm counting for this vaguely.
Horrible. Oh, it was
Horrible.
3-inch at first. You could 3-inch rapid ingress like on someone's objective if they did not screen it. It was so bad.
It was horrible. But the cream of the crop, the one that got to abuse it the most, Necrons, you have won this award. They were the most annoying and most abusant of this detachment. And we are talking about Hypercrypt. Hypercrypt with a monolith is just unbearable. I got beat at Nova, not this year, but last year, when it was still 3 inches. I was on the objective, and he still deep struck on it. So
it was one of the things you had to do at the time. Was this is specific to like if you have a 40 millimeter base, which is like a Blade Guard veteran, you would have to put that directly in the center of an objective to screen out the entire objective, because the base size of a 40 millimeter is like 1.1 inches in diameter, so they physically cannot fit on an objective, like 3 inches from that 1.1 inch.
Yeah.
But I don't know who thought that was a good idea to like let you 3-inch deep strike a monolith. Like you couldn't screen it. I mean,
You
it was
couldn't.
damn near impossible to screen out.
They beat Eldar Index because they could roll some good saves at that
It was
LVO that first year of 10.
I mean 3 inches is just I mean the base of the model was like like it wasn't you weren't measuring 3 inches to like see if you could actually like fit your like guys. You were measuring like 5 because that's how big the like the monolith actual model itself is.
Mm-hmm.
But like the fact that it can just be like you have to you almost had to have like infiltrators just completely screening out your backfield, and some armies just did not have like access to that.
Mm-hmm.
And 3-inch deep strike was just a horrible decision. Really, it truly was.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's balanced, you can't charge. It's like, yeah, but this thing has a million guns on it.
And then they just kept on adding things that could charge. Anyway. So yeah, this is a special mention to the Necron Hypercrypt. May you be deleted and forgotten.
Moving on to number 8, right? We have the Adeptus Custodes Index. It was pretty much, if you guys don't remember, the index for custodians, it is very different from what they currently play now. They completely deleted the index detachment. That's like, there's nothing even similar to it anymore.
Well,
but in this,
there is. It's just ripped apart into pieces here, there, and everywhere.
I mean, not, I would say that, but there are so many strats that they just lost, like from that detachment. And then like the detachment rule was a 4-up feel no pain to mortals, which was amazing. But that wasn't what made this detachment so good. What it was is at the time you had to remember you had a. Do you remember basically if you used a free strat, you did it for free,
it
right?
Had
Or
to
if
be
you used a
battle, whatever.
No, so before the launch, at the beginning of it was battle tactic, but at the beginning of
Yes.
the edition, it wasn't. It was just you could use any stratagem for free. If it was 2 CP,
yeah.
it was free,
Yep.
and you could use it multiple times. Like one captain does it, then another captain use it for 2 CP.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, in the Adeptus Custodes Codex or Index, you could take 10-man Custodian Guard, and they had a -1 damage 2 CP stratagem, which got removed after the Codex got out. It was so annoying. But anyways, you would basically have this led by a captain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have another one led by either Trajan. Normally it would be Trajan, or you could do another shield captain. Normally it'd be Trajan Valorous for this reason that I'm about to explain. And basically, you could have these 2 units both getting -1 damage on 10-man Custodian Guard bricks, and you would take shields because, you probably don't need 10 dudes all with 5 attacks each. It's 7-2. That's like 50 attacks. You don't really need that. So you take 4 shields or whatever, and then you just kind of sit there. You just have 24 ablative wounds. And then what you also had is you had a 2 CP stratagem to fight first if you were on an objective, and you could use that double. Or if you're Trajan Valorous, you just get to use it for free because that's your moment shackle.
Yep.
And essentially it would be like 1,200 points of these 2 giant 10-man squads, and you just sit them on your natural expansion, and you'd sit them on the middle, and it would basically be like, you're just shoot me, and I'm just going to be -1 damage with my 4-up field or 4-up invuln, and with my 4-up field no pain to mortals. And it's just like, if you're going to charge me, they would basically just fight first on whatever objective you charged them on. And then they also had you could also resurrect a model. That was another strat that they had. So it was a lot. I mean, they had a really, really strong win rate for a while, and they had to nerfed that almost immediately out of the game because it was just such a hard counter to melee armies. I mean, just like there's nothing you could do.
No.
And it was really bad.
Yeah. And then your Codex came along and ruined.
Oh, then yeah, then they literally took everything out of that. They took everything out of that. What is it? They literally changed every single stratagem, and except for one, they kept the stratagem to increase your weapons, like your weapon characteristic, like attacks if you are below half starting strength or whatever. But they took everything out of that index and just got rid of it and changed it. It was really annoying. Anyways, moving on to number 7. You want to take this one?
Oh, Big Bobby G and Calgar with the +1 to wound on Oath. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. It's Ultramarines. It was the worst. This was back when Calgar still gave extra CP. You could do another free strat shenanigan, so you'd get extra CP built-in base. You'd get free strats with Bobby G. You get an extra Oath. So you run this in Gladius. You can functionally spend 2 CP at the start of every turn, and you are still just on par with normal strats and how much you spend. So you're able to send Vindicators into ignore cover and +1 AP strat without worrying, because you don't want to use it for your whole army yet. You have advance and charge whenever you want on any unit, because why not? You don't run transports in this in this list or these types of lists, really, so you don't ever have a unit off the battlefield that you need to worry about with it. Like, it's just at every point in the game you could save your resources and just go off. And like, the big thing about this list that is so much better than everything else in regards to cycling cards, if you can hear the typing from Frost, cycling cards, you can just switch cards, no problem. Captains also use free strat. You can talk. You don't have to.
Oh, I mean, I was just gonna let you go. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, I don't. This isn't a prompter. Like,
no, I know. I just felt bad. I felt bad because I was like, I did like 3 in a row. I don't want to like just like dominate here.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, it was just, and Calgar and Gilliman were amazing melee threats, because you put them with the honor guard and you've got whatever. So that's just an amazing melee strat. Like melee. You have the melee threat be Calgar and Gilliman, because they hit hard.
It was basically, you would have Vindicators, Ballistus Dreadnoughts, Calgar, Gilliman, and Trash, and that was your army. Yep. And it was so good.
It was so good. AP4 ignores cover Vindicator is tough.
It's +1 to wound as well. It was bad. I think I did the math on it, and it was about, if you were super efficient, you would be able to spend on average like 25 to 30 CP in a game.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous.
Free strats and all that jazz.
It was really, really, really stupid. Yeah. And funny enough, it actually lasted for a long time.
It was like, what, 5-6 months?
It was at least 6.
Yeah, it took, the Ballistus cost 5 more per.
It took the Ballistus costing, I believe it was like either 10 or 20 more, because I think they're 150 at the moment.
I remember that there was a slate where they hit the Ballistus, but they hadn't done the Calgar change, where Calgar and Gilliman in the same list doesn't generate CP.
Yeah, that was, I think that was the final, that was the nail in the, it's still good. Funny enough, we say this like it's dead. It's still incredibly good. It's just, it's not as abusive.
Yeah. I played it at Cherokee one last year, and, well, it's still this year. I played it at Cherokee in 2025, and it was a hard list to beat. I lost, but I think I could have beat it, but, just the amount of stress you have to put into it.
I really think the most undervalued part about this build is that if you think about it, if you have an army that cannot generate extra CP, you have to be very careful about your, I got to use these 10. They're worth a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you basically get double minimum, triple if you're really, really efficient with it, you had to, I think the most undervalued part of this build was cycling secondaries every turn. for a CP, because there was almost, you'd have to get really unlucky to get 3 cards you just can't score.
Yeah, and that's also including like, oh, I got defend stronghold and like secure no man's, which is hold home, hold 1, which you're doing anyway. Like, great, now you just have a free CP that you don't even have to worry about. Oh, I got assassinate turn 1? Sure, never mind. I want this will be, oh, I don't know, area denial. Sweet. Everybody plans for area denial first turn.
It was good. It was very, very strong.
It was so good.
Moving on to number 6. You got your specialty.
Yeah.
I think.
I never got to partake in this part of Sisters, but this is the Bringers of Flames for Sisters before they got nerfed into the ground, and I played against it. It needed to be nerfed. This time I won, but it needed to be nerfed. Heavy Flamers going up to strength 6 at 12-inch range, which is so easy because you have Assault army-wide. Like, Melta is going up to strength 10. You get Devs on Flamers, which you just get a full 10 mana Seraphim, and then you just, like, what is it? 8d6 Flamers. So, you just do that. Get as many Devs as possible. I don't think there's any inherent rerolls to them, but there were on Morinval's unit, and Morinval's unit is Morinval's unit. You were never going to touch that. Used to generate a Miracle Dice at the start of the battle round, and if you had this Triumph of St. Catherine, you get another 6. Like, just another free 6, as well as the one you roll. And it was just like, you would spend most of the game just auto-6ing damage on Meltas, auto-6ing the amount of shots, deving things out with 6s for Flamers. Like, everything about it was just fast and oppressive.
You got the 6-up invulns as well.
Sure, I guess. Like,
I mean, if you needed it, you know.
Hey, what I'm gonna say to that, Orc trucks have a 6-up invuln, right? Like, nobody.
Well, but they can't flip it to a 6. Is what I'm trying to get to.
Oh, yes.
Like with the Miracle Dice.
Yes, that. Yes. You see, I forget about that. I have a moral rule where if I ever flip a 6 to a Miracle Dice on a save on one of my tanks, it really means I don't like the other guy. Otherwise,
I just don't like you.
Like, yeah, if I'm flipping a 6 on a Miracle Dice, it means I don't like you.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, that's my stance on if you should do that.
So, we're breaking into the top 5 now.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So here we go. And I think this is probably a good number 5 to start with.
Mm-hmm.
You got the unlimited respawning Gene Stealer Cult Index.
The strength 12 -2. D6 plus 1. And it's like...
Oh, it was D6 plus 3 on the satchel charges.
Oh, was it now? My bad.
Yes, per guy. And then it was damage too.
The thing that was horrifying about them, they wanted to die as quickly as possible after. So that way you could do it again.
Yeah, for if you guys picked up 10th edition before, like, if you were not in Index, so you know how the current GSC rule works where you have amount of respawn points, we'll just put that in quotes, that you can spend. It originally used to be if you were, like, every time any of your units that were not vehicles died, you would roll a die, and on a 4-up, that entire unit, whatever it was, just came back.
Yep.
But if you were battle line, you added 3 to the dice roll. So you would just have literally unlimited like battle line units.
Like, sure, I could roll a 1 or whatever, because a 1 always failed. But
no, it was just plus 3. This is it counted. It was, you could not fail this roll, because that was one of the, like, the only time 1s automatically fail, because that's not what it's not doing a check, right? It was just on a 4 or more, and you added 3 to your dice roll. And this is like, there were actually FAQs, like there was actually an FAQ about this and asking if this is how it specifically worked. And the answer was yes, it did work this way, because The ones always fail and sixes always succeed have to do with saves, hits, and wounds, right? That's why it's like if you roll a double one on a charge, it still succeeds, right? Because even
Mhm.
though if ones always fail or whatever, so this wasn't a hit, wound, or save roll. So the one being rolled didn't matter if you were getting +3 to that roll. It was always a 4 up. So your neophytes would always come back. I don't remember what else was battle line. I think it might have been the acolyte hybrids with satchel charges. Might have actually. I think they were battle line, but it was. And then you also had 3-inch deep strike in that detachment as well.
Yep.
It was so dumb.
It was
And they just
really
like
good.
couldn't do anything. Like
Yeah. 2 units of 10 took down a Norn. That was like maybe 100. No, it was like 200 something points into the Norn at a time when it was 300 something.
yeah,
And it's just
it
like,
was.
oh.
I mean, I honestly want to think who who thinks it's a good idea to be like, you know what, one player should just have unlimited units, even if they're battle line. Like you still have unlimited units.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you
And
could like get rid of them if you got within 9 of the marker or whatever, but like at the end of the game and you don't have like all as much of your army left, like you just can't screen it out and you can't get to them.
yeah, it really came down to could you kill them fast enough to make use of it?
And even if you did kill them fast enough, it's like, well, if they're just going to put them in an area where you can't get to, they're just going to activate every single turn. And you could do this on like 20 man. You could run this on like like 4 20-man neophytes. And it's like pretty much it's like I'm going to have like 80 dudes this entire game guaranteed. Even if they don't do anything every turn, it's just like they're always going to be that was a bad change. That was a bad idea. That's all I
Yeah.
can say to that.
Yeah.
Oh
It
god.
was fun. I still think that GSC should have a 3-inch deep strike, but them be the only ones.
Yeah,
But
I don't really mind it. I think like 3-inch deep strike just could exist, but you just can't do anything. It should just be able to be used to like set up a position, and I think like set up things like heroic interventions and whatnot.
yeah.
Right, like that I
Yeah.
think is cool. It's just like you just can't use them, and that's fine to me.
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
was actually that they actually used to have this rule. It was called dynamic insertion for Grey Knights back in 9th edition.
Oh
That was
boy.
specific to Grey Knight paladins, and you could 3-inch deep strike them, but they could not charge, and I do not believe they could shoot either. But you could 3-inch deep strike them somewhere, which is I think really really cool.
Well,
But anyways,
I'm glad we got our old head post in.
dynamic insertion.
I believe next we're on to 3 or 4.
Number 4.
Four.
We're on to number 4 because we did the numbering wrong because we just added Yannari in this.
Yep.
So we got number 4, Tau Crisis Suit Index plus Tetras. So first of all, the Tetras, they would basically right now you got the battle suits that or the stealth suits that let you reroll a hit and a wound roll of 1. Tetras let you reroll all your hits.
Yep.
But they got sent to Legends when the Codex came out, so thank God they were one of the first codexes.
They were such an annoying tech piece because they were fast as hell.
They were like also not easy to kill.
No.
And I think they had stealth as well. They were really fucking annoying.
They were so annoying.
But basically, you used to be able to run the crisis suits. Crisis suits are one of the units I think that suffered most because of the war gear stuff.
Yeah, they got locked with what drones they could take.
Well, and also the weapons they could take. So they had a lot of war gear options for the Tau battle suits, and they again suffered the worst because of it. But you used to be able to give them all cyclic ion, like I think it was like cyclic ion rakers, or maybe it was just cyclic ion cannons.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, you could give them either 2 of them each, or you give them 3 of them. Like each guy would get 3, or each guy would get 2.
Mm-hmm.
And if you gave them 2, you could give everyone a 4-up invulnerable save, which honestly I believe is what most people did because I'll get into the math why. And then the Cold Star commander could take 4, and you would just give him 4 because you'd have to get precision him out. And then if the Cold Star was in the group, they moved 14 inches and they gained assault on all their guns.
Yep.
So then you'd give them the enhancement for Patience of the Hunter. Now, Patience of the Hunter used to be sustained 2 on turns 3, 4, and 5 if you're being guided. But Patience of the Hunter, let that be active on turn 2. So you could deep strike them in, whatever. Normally you didn't because they move so fast anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Tetras letting you reroll all your hits when you're guiding, with all of this, and by the way, each cyclic ion like cannon was 3 shots per gun.
Yep.
So if you were running 6 dudes with like 2 each, you'd be getting, I think it would be what? So that's 36 plus 12. So you're getting 48 shots out of that squad. Okay. And this is with 2 each instead of 3.
Yep.
When you gave it the sustain 2, re-rolling everything, you would get on average 54 hits at 822 ignore cover.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
54 hits. That's 18 wounds.
That is more DACA tier.
And that's at 822 ignore cover. I mean, 18 wounds. Like, I don't really like what. Like, I mean,
even if you have a 4-up invuln, even if you're the lion, that still kills you pretty consistently.
I mean, what? So you're taking, even with a 3-up save, you're taking, I think it's like 18 wound or like 18 damage or 18 failed saves.
Yeah.
That's like 36 damage.
Yeah. And
if you really wanted to go overkill, you would do, and you wanted to put 3 guns on each guy, you would get 77 hits out of that squad at 822 when you're wounding.
Yep.
And it's just like what are we talking about? Well, I guess it's like, sorry, the damage would be a little less than that because it would be 54 hits. If you're wounding on 5s, it'd be 18 wounds. If you were saving on like a 3, you'd take like 12 damage or whatever. But I mean, the thing is,
kill the lion?
It does.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
It still does. It still kills the lion.
Yeah.
It would pretty much kill everything unless you're using Armor of Contempt on like a Land Raider. But the thing is that
eventually it'll get through.
Oh, it's not even that it gets through. It's that it was also really cheap.
Yeah.
It wasn't expensive. It was like
everything. It was less than 200.
It was like 200. No, it wasn't less than 200 because it was like 280, I believe, or something. I think it was like 100 per suit, or like for a 3-man suit, or maybe it was like a little. Maybe it was like 320. But the fact of the matter is, if you wanted to do the 77, like if you're getting 77 hits at 822 ignore cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're only wounding on like a 5, you're pretty much getting 20 plus hits. I mean, you wouldn't even shoot this at like a Land Raider. That's the thing, is that you have like all your heavy, like you have your broadsides for all that. Like this unit killed anything in the game that was not a T12 2-up save with Armor of Contempt.
Yeah.
That was like the only thing that had a chance. And you're like on average still taking like 12 to 14 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Just basically hoping you don't roll like slightly below average here.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really rough. It was rough.
It was.
I mean, it was rough.
It was a point and click.
I don't even remember what the rule for crisis suits were. I don't even remember what their index.
You could pick a drone per guy, and then it had something to do with like improving your shooting in some way, shape, or form.
Oh god, if it was extra AP, that'd be hilarious. It might have been. I actually don't know, but
I think no, because the Tetris gave extra AP.
No, I don't remember. I mean,
there was something that gave extra AP.
There was something I mean, that's one of the crisis suits rules now. It's the Star Scythe if they're shooting infantry, specifically.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was that I believe in. If you do the theory, like you can theory craft damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that this unit right here, if you theory crafted to do like the most damage possible in a turn, it was because you would get. I mean, what was it? So it'd be 36 plus 12. So you get 48 shots. And technically speaking, they're like all 6s. You know, you'd get like 120 something hits. It was so bad. It was kind of an egregious amount of damage that would get pumped out. I mean, you think about this, 54 hits on 822. It's like, it was not good. It was a rough one. Yeah. It was a rough one for everyone involved. Yeah. God forbid you do not have Armor of Contempt on your army.
And it should be mentioned, they didn't die to light things either. They had 4
No,
invuln.
it didn't.
2-up, 4-up.
They had a 4-up invuln.
They had 2-up, 4-up.
And they also, they had it was a 3-up, 4-up, but they also had, It was a 3-up on the battle suits, yeah.
Okay.
But the broadsides are 2-ups. But you also have to think they were like 4 wounds a pop.
Yeah.
Because you could take 2 drones per guy.
Mm-hmm.
They might have been 5 wounds a pop because you could take 2 drones a guy and you could give them the guardian drones or the shield drones and give them an extra wound. So it's like they'd have 5 wounds each, 3-up, 4-up, and like they move 14 with advance, and then you could like fire and fade in specific detachments.
And built-in fallback shoot and charge with the drones as well.
Yes, and also you could deep strike them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was egregious. It was bad. And they just pretty much killed anything. They killed almost anything in the game. Because again, if you did not have Armor of Contempt, you were not a 2-up save, and let's just say you're wounding on a 5-up, you're still taking 18 damage on like average. If you get 18 wounds and then you fail half your saves, it's killing pretty much everything that's not a monolith. And a monolith was like 400 something points. So they were really, really good, and they were not that expensive. So going on to number 3 now, we're gonna say Ynnari.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to do this one.
Yeah.
Okay, there
you go. If you are a shooting army, you lose. If you are a melee army, and they still have the Howling Banshees, you lose. You had one option against Ynnari. Be forced into the trades that they give you and just whittle down and lose until they send the Incarn into your face to kill whatever they want. And you just sit there and you smile and you bite your tongue. The Ynnari were busted because they had a reactive move if you get like so close, reactive move if you shoot them. The Incarn can just go to any unit that's fully killed. At the end of the phase, if you fully kill any unit in the shooting phase, they can just do a flat 6 move, or was it just movement speed?
I believe it was a normal move.
Yes, that's right, because and
it was the end of your opponent's shooting phase.
Yeah. I'm remembering now because somebody sent a wave serpent 14 inches into my face. That's right. I was wondering why I wasn't so sure about that. Because a wave serpent decided to get a free movement phase that could have nothing bad happen to it.
I cannot believe that they let it be like any unit.
Oh, and let us not forget, because it would be shameful to do so, you can add your Eldar army rule to that, so 14 isn't even the limit. You, good sir, could get all the way up to 21 if you roll a d6 plus 1.
Oh, it's d6 plus 2, thank you very much.
No, that's in Warhost.
Oh, sorry. No, my mistake.
Yes. Worry not. That only rolled 6s. So, you could have anything in the army reactive after you could no longer shoot it. So,
and also if you shot, because it was if you got shot, you could reactive with the tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's something fell back.
No. If you got shot, you could spend a strat to reactive move, and the reactive move at the end of phase was just a free rule they added to the detachment. Not once per game.
No, it was
not keyword limited for Ynnari. No. Anything. The wave serpent across the board is real sad that these goobers died.
And also, I mean, there were so many plays you could do with it as well. That wasn't even just like. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to move this wave serpent up now or whatever. To like, you can move block with this. You could go. You use to steal objectives.
Run away from a charge.
Run away from a charge. I mean, the options were truly unlimited, and it was not very fair. And it lasted a long time. And then it lasted way longer than I thought it would. And then eventually it got to the point where they had to take it out because people were getting a little upset
oblivion.
With it. Oh yeah. You know what's funny is that's only 3 on the list. We still got 2 more.
Oh my gosh. And that's not even everything. Not even including the -1 to hit strat. That's not even -1 from the hit roll. It's just -1 to hit, not stealth, excuse me. Just flat -1 to hit. So, just as a strat, I think they had
What else did you?
-1 to wound on certain types of infantry.
I think it was if you
Blood
took
Surge! Oh my, we didn't even talk about the Blood Surge!
I was going to say we didn't even mention Yvrain and the Vizark with
With the
Incubi
3
as well.
wizards as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. They did a lot. That unit did way more damage than you would think it would. Like than you like on the surface.
They pick up Sagittars in Overwatch, bro.
It was awesome.
Hey, I hated it. Oh, it was awful, man. But anyways, yeah.
You know what's funny is that this isn't even the spoiler alert. I'll tell you now. This isn't even the most egregious Eldar thing on the list.
No. But to go to Eldar's ugly step twin,
number 2, T-Sons.
Just everything.
I lost to Michael Mann at LVO, not this past year, but the year prior, running the Index T-Sons attachment, and I almost beat him. Like, I was talking to him after the game, and he said, if you don't know who Michael Mann is, he's been Art of War coach. And he said to me, he's like, I'm not going to lie. He's like, up until turn 4, he's like, I thought you had me. I'm like, well, that's not very, I said, I guess that's sort of comforting that I almost fucking beat him. But anyways, it was a good game, but yeah, Index T-Sons. I think you and I both have some pretty scarring moments against this army.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? What's your least favorite part?
Oh, my least favorite part? My least favorite part was when Magnus could move 26 inches in a single
with
28 with fly.
24, yeah, something like that. 20.
What did he move? He moves 12 base, 12.
It's either
14?
24 or 28 inches in a turn.
Yeah. You see, I was gonna beat him until he fell back, however many inches, and then somebody else cast the spell on him to move on to an objective that I was holding that was gonna win me the game by 1 point, and then I lost instead because Magnus moved from
really
across the board.
Really? You didn't like the fact that Magnus could indirect fire all of his stuff with full rerolls to hit and wound with +1 to wound?
Oh, and still hitting on 2s at this point because they had to change that.
Because they didn't change, because at the time there wasn't an indirect penalty.
There was, but he would just also get +1 to hit.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
you forgot the strat was also +1 to hit and wound, not just the wound.
And indirect.
And indirect.
And you know what's the best part about that is that you would take the you would also select your little thing, because that's just your army rule, right? Because you'd have Doom Bolt, which was like I think it was minimum D3 + 3 mortals, right?
Yep, and then the big one was D3 + 6.
So no, that was the medium one. It was like 6 + D6.
Oh, you're right. That was the.
That's if you rolled a 1, you did D3 + 3.
That's right. That is right. I forgot how bad it was.
Then you also had you could just strip cover from anything.
Oh,
or no, sorry, strip cover, strip armor saves.
Whoa,
you could not take an armor save against whatever.
Come on now, we're classy. If you don't have an invuln in your army, you just like find a bridge. Your guard, these bolters are wounding you. They're dev.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it was. You know what's even funny about is that so you had that. It was. Then you had the double movement. You had the remove armor saves. You had Doom Bolt. There was something else that I don't remember what it was. I'm
Free
sure.
Strat on Magnus.
Oh, it was blank a save.
Oh, for a strat, of course.
Yeah, and then you could use a strat to like do another to do a thing twice, or like use one of the cabals twice.
Yeah.
And then like that's your army rule, right? So then your detachment rule was that all your psychic weapons could do devastating wounds. You could do a few things with it.
Yeah.
So you could have Magnus indirect hitting on 2s, re-rolling all hits, re-rolling all wounds, +1 to wound, devastating wounds on 6s for all of his weapons. Like, it was like 24-inch range. You're not hiding from it.
No. Oh, Oh, you said 24. I think you meant to say 30.
36 or whatever it was.
30 because the strat added 6 inches.
Oh, you're right. It did add 6 inches to the thing.
I don't think you're understanding just how broken it was. You can don't worry. It's even dumber than you could have expected.
Honestly, and you say all that, but I almost think the most, not the most, but and this was the cherry on top, was the Umberlific Crystal enhancement. Do you know what that thing did?
I think I do. The deep strike
So,
thing?
yeah, so it was like
Yep.
a deep strike, but you could pull them out. Like, it didn't matter if you were in combat or anything. You just pull them up
Yep.
at the end of any turn,
Mhm.
right? Or end of your opponent's turn. Like, if you could be in combat. Just kidding. No, I'm not. And that is really, really frustrating. If you got someone locked in combat and they're like, I'm out. See you
Yep.
later.
Yep.
So that were really, really good.
Yeah.
But you know what's my favorite part about it? That wasn't even the most egregious thing in the game.
No.
And
Not even
lo
by
and
a long
behold,
shot.
the moment you've all been waiting for, Eldar Index.
Yeah. And the Night Spinner, just deleting anything in the game. Indirect, no counter. 48 inches, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So 48 inches, indirect. You just stick it on your home behind a terrain piece. The only thing that could interact with it, other Night Spinners. So just go first as Eldar into Eldar. That's the only time that you could really interact with it.
And you know what's funny is that was not the worst unit by far. That was actually a pretty like okay unit, all things considered.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the best part and the worst part about the index was at the time mortal wounds used to spill over like from devastating wounds. So they normally spill over if you have like grenades or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But devastating wounds do not spill over. But when at the time it was written, they did. So you had the Wraith Knight. And so the Wraith Knight had the Wraith Cannon, or the Wraith Knight Cannon or whatever. And at this time, Titanics could also overwatch. And the way towering used to work is that it ignored obscuring terrain. And it was basically like true line of sight.
Yep.
So if you could see anything and it was within 24 inches of the Wraith Knight, it could just shoot you.
Yep.
And the best part about this, and I say best part, is you get your D3 shots, right? 2 D3 shots because you had 2 guns.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like 4 shots on average. Now you hit the Eldar detachment rule at the time was re-roll a hit and wound every time every unit fires.
Yep.
So this counted in Overwatch. So you roll your 4 dice. Maybe you get lucky on a 6 because you re-roll 1. But if you didn't, and normally you would get like a 6 if you're re-rolling 4 dice and then re-rolling, you're essentially rolling 5 dice.
Mm-hmm.
You on average get like a 6 approximately. So then what you do is you flip one of those other 6 or one of your other dice to a 6 because you can with the Farseer. And then what you do is you could then flip another dice to a 6 and you could do 2d6 mortal wounds. And then if you got lucky and rolled another 6, you could do 4d6 mortal wounds.
Yep.
On your Wraith Knight, on Overwatch, on anything within 24 inches.
Yep.
And then you could just, roll your dice and then flip another one of those 6s on any of the 2d6s to 6 wounds automatically. Plus it would be 6 plus d6 mortals. And it was, I remember seeing someone doing the math on this. I think Art of War did the math on this. I remember watching this video. It was like on average 15 mortal wounds per activation with the Wraith Knight into a squad of 5 because you got blast as well. So you get like 6 shots on average.
Yeah.
And it was like 15 mortal wounds, like they would like on average, like in Overwatch. And you're just like, oh my God. So it was really, really bad. And they actually had to do the emergency data slate because it was like, what, 2 months or something like that? They had a 70
start of the 3rd month.
It was, I actually going to look at this really quickly. Stat check. I want to know what their win rate was. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to go to the beginning of the edition before the emergency data slate.
It was 86, I think.
It was You could have said anything, and I would have just been like, yeah, it probably makes sense.
There's nothing that they don't win if they choose to.
It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to change. They changed pretty much the entire game around it.
Yeah.
They
And
changed
like,
mortals. They changed dev, like how devs and they even changed because they were at the time. Yeah, they changed mortals. They
yep,
changed devs. They changed Overwatch rules. They changed the
yep,
towering rules. They
yep.
changed. Oh, and we didn't even mention Phantasm or Spire and Fade. So they had it. So they had. So basically, if you fired a unit, you could just move flat six, move six. But then they also had another rule called Phantasm. These were both strats, where at the end of your opponent's shooting phase, I don't know if this sounds familiar, you could make a 6-inch move as well. So you
Yep.
got two fire and fades, one at the end of your opponent's shooting phase. So again, you use it the same way Yanari would use their whole thing. And then you also got to use your fire and fade. And I just it was, I mean, it was 80. I mean, when you say 86% win rate, you could have said 96% win rate, and I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. And I like when it gets so bad in the first 3 months, you have to rewrite the core rules. It's
I
great.
thought this edition was like so screwed. I saw that, I'm like, oh, this edition's gonna be horrible. Like
Thankfully, it's been pretty good. Like,
I will say though, the writing was on the wall at that time, like at the beginning of the edition. The writing was on
yeah,
the wall for some factions just being grossly stronger than others.
yeah.
Like right now, people say that it's hard to argue that the game is not balanced because I actually don't really think it is. I think it's objectively, if you look at it, it is quote unquote balanced, but I think that has to do a lot with the way the game's designed because Games Workshop has made this game purposely to keep the games close, and that there's a lot of luck involved in whether you win or lose, even outside of just rolling dice, which is like the how all secondaries work and whatever, and how primaries do. We made a video on this. Go watch this video.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you look at like armies. Funny enough, like Space Wolves is a really good example right now. Their codex has like a fine win rate of like 40, like 8%, a little below 50, but I would argue that that is a perfectly fine. They don't really need to touch anything, or at least you wouldn't think they need to touch anything, right? They have not won an event since their codex has come out, and their overrepresentation. This is like getting very much into the statistics of competitive play. Is like 0.25, which means they are showing up like in those top 4 placings a quarter of the time compared to their population of their player base. And the writing was on the wall because you saw that AdMech index and then you saw the
Oh my
Eldar
god,
index.
yeah.
And you're just like, whoa. Then also another good one is the Dark Eldar Drukari index. They had to add the second one because it was so bad.
Yeah, the Drukari got the first Grotmis detachment before
And it was like
anything.
3 months into the game.
It was Christmas. It was around Christmas.
Oh, was it? Yeah, because it was okay. Yeah, because it came out in June, but like they got it, and it's like because they had to have another detachment, and that was my biggest worry with this edition. And I honestly think they missed the mark still because you still have dramatic like differences in power level. Because now AdMech all of a sudden are just
The
the
best in the game.
best army in the game, and it's like at a certain point, if you just give armies just rules and rules and rules, because the data sheets are still not good. They just now have so many rules and they're so cheap that they've hit that critical mass of abilities
They're
that they
stealing
just now
Imperial
steamroll.
Guard's bit.
Yeah,
Well, I guess you can't say that because Guard won LVO with that bit. Actually,
that is hilarious. By the way,
that is hilarious.
that build is really funny to me.
It's so funny. Such a funny, yeah.
The other thing, and you know, now that we're wrapping up the end of the edition, we are going to finally release that toughness video. It's really been on me because I've had a lot going on with my nothing bad. It's just been applying to like medical school. It takes a lot of time and a lot of money. I'm not going to get into it, but way more than I expected.
Being a doctor is for the bourgeoisie or whatever.
We're not going to go there because I don't want them to hear this.
Okay. Well, I take it back then. I guess not, because my good buddy told me so.
Don't let them know. But yeah, and I honestly think now there is nothing that is nearly as egregious as this. I will say that. I will give Games Workshop credit. There has not been anything as egregious as a lot of the stuff that we just talked about.
I still think Death Guard if Death Guard had gotten changed like this morning, I would have smacked that sucker on this list without hesitation.
I do agree that I think the Death Guard rules are too good, and I honestly think that army is still top like 3 in the game.
I think the fact
And
that people abandoned it because it wasn't easy mode anymore indicates to me that Death Guard players are like they're there when it's fair weather friends, to say the least.
I just like I look at that rule set for Death Guard, I'm like, how are they not still just like dominating? They would be amazing into AdMech right now.
For all intents and purposes, they should. Like, Death Shroud Tornado still kill anything they touch. No. All right, thank you everybody for watching this episode. Appreciate it.
If we please like and subscribe. If we missed any outrageously broken combos, please let us know in the comments below. I know there was a few ones that I was even thinking about, like Liberator Salt Group, Bloodless Angels, but I didn't think it was nearly as strong as some of these other ones.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you all so much for your time. Appreciate you coming out, and until next time.